In today's video, I will be doing a flip through of my completed traveler's notebook from Notebook Therapy that I started at the beginning of the year. Hey everyone, Kat here of Paper, Pens, and Coffee, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by, and you are in for a treat today. This is a completed traveler's notebook by Notebook Therapy. I just started following Kelsey of Kelsey Doodles over on Instagram, and she had a couple reels and some posts about how she was using a hardbound traveler's notebook size book from this company, and I said, well, I'll give it a try, because the only other traveler's notebooks I've ever used are the ones that we put in our ever so popular traveler's notebook company notebook covers. Why did I decide to do a hardbound traveler's notebook size? Well, at the time I was using traveler's notebooks that I created myself, in the sense that instead of being overwhelmed saying there's this many pages and I've only written that much in it, I designed traveler's notebooks that would only last 31 days, or like in February, 29 days this year. And that took down the anxiety. So I was thinking, well, start of a new year. I am destined to have some change in my life, so why not try this format? At the end of the video, I'll let you know if I would ever use this particular format again. So without further ado, this one is, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same size as the smaller ones, so let's give it a look. This is, I do not know where from. Oh, this is an actual one from the Travelers Company, so there we go. We'll use this as our ruler. So, as you can see, it's a little shorter than their notebook, but it's a little narrower than their notebook, probably by like 1/4 of an inch that way. So, side by side, you can see the difference there. Don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this is an olive green, and then I picked the one that had some leaves and a train on it. And all of them that I do believe that are traveler's notebook things, that it comes with this elastic, so you can wrap it around as it gets chunky. So this is what I was first deciding to do in my notebook. I wanted to cover up the first 2 pages. So I went over on Canva and created my own little designs there. And then at this time, I was just finishing up my Brandy Kincaid monthly subscription, and this was the last card that she gave me. And so I thought this would be perfect to start the 2024 out. And so this is my own design here. So I was going to be dutifully of tracking my water, how many times I walked, waking up at 7, and it's like, okay, well, you just make a X every time you wake up. Well, it was by 7 a.m. the goal was 25 times, and as you can tell, I didn't make that. This is a stamp that was gifted to me by my friend LaQuisha Hall of Confidence Canvas, and then the rest of these are stickers from my stash. So what I did is I went on Canva and I just made some extra my own design dates, and then each square I was doing was the color code of the weather. This is the one thing I will continue filling out, because I'm not going to transfer this over into another book. So I will have to remind myself to come back to this book to have to finish up June and then do the rest of the year. But technically all the pages have been filled up, so that's why I'm showing it to you now. So that's how I did the first month, is I just pre-dated and just broke it down into a 1/4 of the page. And that way I figured I wouldn't be stressed of doing it. Oh, this is when I hit a good milestone. I got over 1,000 followers on Instagram. So anyways, and then at the end of it, what I did is that I did the best memories, and I'd write down 5 things. Then to split it up, before I went into February, I had this wonderful plan to go and visit more mom and pop shops around the Milwaukee area in Wisconsin, or if I went down to Illinois or over to Minnesota. But as you can tell, that really didn't happen so far. So I know I still have 6 months left of the year, but I was hoping this would be all filled. These are various things from my stash, but I think this is AM Papers, and this is from Canva. So then I started Books in 24, and I have a couple more to add here. Once again, this is something I'm not going to just completely shelve and then put into a new journal, because to me, that's just double duty, and I don't do that. So I will continue filling out the books here. I think on Goodreads, my goal is 20 books. So I'm doing pretty good so far between the audio books and then some of the paper books I've been reading. And now I have downloaded a lot of quick reads on my Kindle that I hope to add to this list. So see, being positive, I got all the way down to here. I kept this open in case for more books. This was moments when of Happy Mail. I was starting to keep track of when I got things in the mail. And I've gotten things since March, but for some reason I just used my other address book that I usually keep track of that. So I don't know if you've done this, but that 1 line a day thing, not the 5-year journal that Hobonichi and other companies say you need to buy. But sometimes some people just do 1 line a day. And I guess it's something that you've heard, something you've said, something you've done. And yeah, I didn't even make it through the whole month. It just didn't seem, it wasn't for me. So then we skip a page, and we're okay with this blank page here. And then the reason I kept it blank here is because I wanted to start the new month on the same side as I did here. And as you can tell, there's a theme. I picked another stamp that LaQuisha gave me, and I used my Happy Planner stickers for the zodiac sign. And then on my very valuable, I'm saying valuable because this paper to me is way expensive. And so it's like, are you see-through Mako paper worthy? If you are, then I'll print you up on that. But if you're not, then it's regular sticker paper, the cheap stuff. So once again, I was trying to do my goal. And as you can tell, I didn't go very far. It just doesn't do it for me for right now. So this time, instead of, let's see, I grouped it again a little differently. I just used my stamps I used to have from, Heidi Swap. And then this one is a little different too, is because, believe it or not, Valentine's Day is it's the statehood day for Arizona and also for Oregon. But I was born in Arizona, so I always try to do something statehood day with the oh my gosh, I'm lost for words, guys. The statehood day on Valentine's Day. I always try to do something like that. So I was able to keep up with this, and it was just little snippets, nothing really, deep dive journaling. I keep that for my A5 that I just showed in my halfway mark, or I've shown you guys that one before. Anyways, we got an extra day this year, so what I did is I went down to my post office, and the post office worker was so kind to stamp that on it. he didn't understand what I needed it for. He goes, you know, you can't mail that. It's not usable. I said, no, it's going into my journal. Because all I wanted was this date. Yeah, I could use my stamp date, but I mean, this is like more official, right? Because it's from the Postal Service. Once again, I did 5 moments. Did a little more decoupage in the back or scrapbooking, depending on what camp you're in. I added this envelope with some stuff that I thought would be neat because Brandy did this really cool letter that is kind of like she wrote it just for you. And then she gave you a piece of paper to write a letter for yourself. And so anytime I was like feeling like blah or whatever, I would open that up and read that. That's why she labels it a good word for later. And this one is very significant. This is Brian Kincaid, but it's not too late because this is the starting of this month. Sometime in this month, I decided to go for it and go back or apply to get my master's, which I'm going to start, I cannot believe, in 2 months. So this was like kind of a mantra for me, saying, you know, you do it and you deserve the good you give, which I thought tied it in. And once again, another one of the stamps that Lucretia gave me, and I tried again by making the thing. And as you can tell, I know I did a lot more of this than I did, but for some reason I just didn't come in and mark it. I'm having a little better time marking down stuff like that in my 6-ring binder. I do not know why. So this time I used these stamps instead. And believe it or not, these stamps is the alphabet from Liza. I'll put her name right here. You see her with her gorgeous layouts on Instagram and all of her ink pens, but she designed a set of stamps for Illustrated Faith, and I just had to have them because I love alphabet stamps. Once again, I did the 5 top moments. This happened in March, so I did a little scrapbooking. I haven't done this in a long time. And we were down in Illinois, and we went to a sushi place, and it was Family Plus Spy or Family Spy was the theme. And I am a big Aya fan, so we had to go have a lunch date there. So that's why I did that. And then we went out into the marketplace. There's one that has H. Martin, and there's another one. And they did black sesame seed and green tea ice cream. It was so good. So before I started into April, I decided to start a list of songs. I need to finish this out. This is a tarot card from Mandy Ford. She did it for Valentine cards. And so I'm like, oh, that would be so cute to use. Then I decided to do a 2-page spread as for April. These are from Book Nook Prints. Oh my goodness, Book Nook Prints, Christina's shop. I'll link it down below. So I just did a little more scrapbooking there. And these are also, all of the little pictures you see are from that same set. And so this was really exciting because I used a stamp from Calico Studio, and it's Major Milestone Moment, and it's just a blank stamp, and then it says number, and then you have little numbers, and so then you stamp in what milestone that was. And the milestone is that I got on LA Florals and Frolicking Brains PR teams, and I was so excited about that because I've been wanting to do that for years, being on people's PR teams of art that I really enjoy, and I finally got to do it. So this time I decided to do long form journaling in this, meaning that I didn't do it every single day like I did in January and February. When the mood hit me, that's when I journaled or decoupaged or however you want to say it, scrapped it, junked it. So that's how I decided to do this. And like at the solar eclipse day, I didn't even write any words except for what was happening that day, and I just let everything else talk for itself. These are from a one of those big thick books you get at Barnes and Noble with tons of stickers. And this is background paper that was made by my friend Barbie. And I think the washi tape is from my UK friend Melanie. So I decided I'd do just some more things. And then I was like, well, let's work on our goals. Because this was the month I had to wait to see before I got my, March, April. Yeah, I was waiting for, and I actually journaled about my other one. I was waiting to see if I got accepted. I didn't get accepted right away. I was on the holding list, and then they did it. So this was the day that I finally got the note saying that I'm accepted. Do you still want to go and get your master's? So I used my stamping to emphasize that. And this is from Frolicking Brains. And I'm like, I was saving this for later, but this I thought was perfect. And so then these are her little washi strips she gives you. And so I love to weave them. They're really easy to weave. And I think that gives it a neater look. So then we go into May. So see, it's okay. I journaled solidly every day, January, February, March, April, when the mood hit me. And then I think that's what happened again in May. So once again, I decided to do a 2-page spread. This is all Frolicking Brains. This was one of the freebies from last quarter. I have a new freebie this time. But this was the freebie from last quarter that you would get. Then I did another tunes. I know I did a playlist with Mandy's thing, but I decided to use my own little printable that I used and tunes I liked. And I just wrote down the titles of them. So there's like no categories or anything. I just felt that I needed to do that, so I did. Things that happened in May. So these are things that happened. I just did some long journaling. May 4th, I had to use a Star Wars stamp. And then I just did that, and that was it. Nothing else, nothing fancy. This was a freebie from the Brandy Kincaid's monthly email, and so I printed it out to put in there. And then I saw how the color palette was, so I just wrote in the different colors of the same palette of the picture. This is me just putting my little things. I got this idea from Kim. I forget her last name. I'll tag her right here. She used to do, she doesn't do any YouTube videos anymore, but she used to, and she has the most gorgeous voiceover voice. Puts you at ease, so calming and relaxing. And every time she get an order of washi tape or fountain pen ink, she'd always put a little snippet into her Hobonichi, so then you can see. So that's what I did here. So that's what I did. And then I got some Happy Mail from Stephanie Makes Things, so I put that in there. And then I was feeling scrapbooky again. So I journaled, as you can tell, but I did a lot of things of tip pins. This is what tip pins are called. And I know there's a lot of people that know what that is, and then there's some people that have no clue what that means. I didn't know what a tip pin was until I started doing this type of thing in 2019. So what it is that you want something within this page area, but you don't want to glue it completely down because maybe there's something on the back of it. For example, like this telegram. There's always something written on the back of it. Or you run out of room and you want to write something else. And so what I do, I know some people use just double-sided tape and call it a day, but I like seeing the pretty washi tape. So you put washi tape as long as the thing is. This one I didn't do it, but I think this one I did. I did opposite. I put it on the back because I wanted it folded this way. So you just put the washi on the side where you want it to fold. Sometimes I will then put a piece of washi that way, but as you can tell, that's pretty broad washi. You don't have to do that. So, and then I didn't realize when I did this page, it was upside down. This is washi that came from my friend Melanie in the UK, a Happy Plan sticker, and I just decided to write about some things. These are Mandy Ford stickers. Here I'm getting a little more comfortable just putting stickers everywhere and then filling in the spots. These are from my, my stash. And that was it. That was May. That's all May was. And then June. Well, June was an awesome month. Went by too fast. And I am glad that I had a really good June. Junes in the past, sometimes things have happened and crash and burn and you have to start all over again. So anyways, this lemonade paper is actually my own design. I hand drew these lemons and then I made it into paper. I will link my shop below, but what I did is I made it in different sizes, so you could use it in your traveler's notebook, you could use it in your A5, you can use it in your A6, you can use it in your personal, etc., however you want to do it. And then the lemon, strawberry, all of these are hand drawn by me, minus the washi tape. So I made this one for June, and the reason I picked this theme is that we opened up a lemonade business. So this lemonade right here, all I did is trim the lemons off and used it. And then I used this lovely washi. And then some of the lemons that I drew here were perfect for the small circle cutter I have. So then I just drew little lines and then I wrote each intention on the line instead of just writing it straight across. I thought that would be a lot more fun. And then I started using some more of my Frolicking Brain stickers. My mom was here, and my mom, she loves to take me clothes shopping or art supply shopping when she's here. And so I got some new pants and a couple skirts. Or skirts, I don't know how you pronounce that. But bear with me. Listen, the underpant is not that nasty elastic PE stuff. It's actually a thin linen cotton. It fits perfectly, and it is so nice, especially if you live in a humid area like the Midwest or Florida. Y'all need that. So I just thought it was cute how they named their pants. This pant was named Emma and the skirts was named Sharon. So I just had to do that because why? We do that as journalers. My mom surprised me with a new Kindle, and so I kept this receipt and then the little receipt that she gave me for it. I won a printer by Marie Journals over on IG, and I was trying to figure out how to use it. So I did some print things. Some people use this particular printer, and they can have their picture look like an actual photo. Can't figure it out, so I think I'm just going to use it for words. And this is our first day that we opened up Lemonzello, so of course I had to write about it. And this is just a collage page. This is from an old kit. I am so sorry, but you will not be able to get this because it's discontinued. It was for Illustrated Faith. My friend Shanna Klingerman is an artist, and she was working for them. And when the artist decides to leave or they no longer work for them, they discontinue their artwork. So I bought it and I was able to reprint it. But the positive thing is if you do buy things from Illustrated Faith, the link never expires. Because I haven't bought stuff from them for like 4 years, and I went back and I was able to re-download this link and print it up. So this was Dear Diary. That was the theme of this particular one. And this is more from that same one. And I just wrote a little about that. And then this is Brandy Kincaid's. Unfortunately, you will not be able to get this one either because it has been retired. But I decided to do it every which way. I don't know if you guys do that, just writing one way and then turning and then this way and turning and then changing fonts. inks. This is all my fountain pen inks. I just cleaned them. I find it very zen-like to just put them in a bowl in the sink and wash them that way. And all the ink comes out. I don't need a jewelry cleaner or anything like that. A bowl and sink and water does the girl good. All right. Now, as you can see, this one is a surprise, and this is the first time I'm noticing this. I said this was all completed, and apparently we have a blank page here. So, I'm going to do a little thing saying, it's okay. Embrace the white page. Embrace the blank. Embrace the negative space, or the positive space, or however you guys talk about it. It's okay. Now, about 4 years ago, I would have freaked out, stopped the camera, put something down on here, and then continued. But hey, you never know. And then this is the official last page. That's what I wrote last page on it. This is also from that Dear Diary that I just showed you from Shauna. And yeah. And then I wrote my name here. These are happy planner stickers. And as you know, once you do some alphabets, then you can't spell other words. So that's what I did there. And I already showed you that. And then I think when I first showed you this one, the first time around, I showed you how I did different inks and samples just to see. And then, of course, looking on the back page that there isn't really that much ghosting on it. So, oh, and these come with these pockets that we never really use. Or we put things in there and then we forget we have them. Check this out. Oh my goodness, how embarrassing. Well, I will take these out and use these in my ring planner now. It's a good thing I guess I looked at that, because I would have never found them. And these are some stickers I made. So let's take those out so I can reuse them. Alrighty, well that's it. I know this was a long video, a very talkative video, but I've heard that a lot of you like this type of video. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.